to pick the bones of the last 2 hours here in the Queen Elizabeth Park, the Aquatic Centre. What an incredible 2 hours it has been. Welcome to the venue. Please do let us know where you are watching us from in the comments and fire away with all your questions. I'm Annie Emmerson, and alongside me I have an incredible lineup. I have the bronze medalist from Rio Olympics, Vicky Holland, and also the silver medal from the Paralympics in Rio. Vicky, a quick summary of what you've seen.
Yeah, I think this was the first race of the year, the first race for many people for a really long time. It's always hard to know what you're going to get, what to predict from anyone. I think in the women's race there was some really strong swimming which set up a lot of the legs later on. Our eventual winner Beth was incredible on that treadmill. We really saw her get that belt moving, which some people struggled to do, but her cadence really came into play there. And I think the bike didn't play as big an element as maybe we thought it might do at times, but overall really strong racing, and Beth sort of ran away with it to be without meaning to put a pun on it at the end there. And then we cross over to the men's race. I really couldn't pick the men's. I really struggled with the men's, and Martin was fantastic to take the victory.
Lauren, you competed here. Tell us about your experience.
It is exceptionally hot and humid in here, but actually it was great to be back racing, and I think, as you said, it was the first race of the season. The swim was amazing for me as well, coming back here since London 2012, so it brought back memories. Got onto the bike and felt really strong, and then got onto the run and thought, I'm running in a sauna here. It was just really hard, and those treadmills, I've never run on one before, and I'm not sure I'm going to run on one again.
Right, we're going to have a little look back now at the women's race, which was an incredible one and really threw out some rather unexpected results.
We're racing once again at Super League Triathlon. So good to be able to put this racing on. There's a cumulative effect because...
I think, Vicky, what we saw here from Beth Potter was something pretty outstanding. We really hadn't expected her to swim as well as she had. She is not known in triathlon yet as a swimmer.
Yeah, I'd heard some whispers that Beth was, in really good shape. I felt like maybe she'd be able to put in a decent performance here today. I did pick her as my wild card for the win today, and, she did me a favour there, so thank you, Beth. She really did swim incredibly well. She was positioned on the first leg between Sophie Caldwell and Lucy Charles, the two strongest swimmers. I think that was a really great position for her. She could just about keep an eye on what they were doing. And once she got onto the run, she really just flew past them. And on that first bike round, it was worth mentioning, she didn't get caught. She was riding on her own at the front with two girls, really strong girls, in Lucy Charles Barclay and Sophie Caldwell, chasing her from behind, and they didn't catch her. And that was a really impressive all-round performance that just set her up for the later legs.
Well, a really, truly amazing women's event. We can see Beth Potter there on the screen. She looked incredibly relaxed all round, though, didn't she? I mean, even when she finished, she didn't look out of breath.
I think that was the first thing that I said, was like, she looks like she could go again, so I think that's amazing.
Well, alongside me, Graham Atchison, and he is our main data expert. Graham, it's really good to have you here with us. What I really want to know is, what are the big stories in the women's race?
Well, obviously, as Vicky said, Beth's run, we knew that her coming into this event that she was the fastest runner, but she ran up to 10 seconds faster than everybody else in this event. And so, as we said, she wasn't bad in the swim. She was pretty strong on the bike as well. And when you're making up 10 seconds in everybody in the run, when the swim's only 200 metres and the bike's 4K, you're going to struggle to make that time up again.
We'll get some more from you in a minute, Graham, that's for sure. Let's have a look a little bit more at the women's race.
Push that belt backwards. And
I think one thing we noticed, Vicky, you and I sat there and we looked at the cadence, didn't we, on the treadmill? And I think that we can safely say that Beth Potter was a lot quicker than the other women.
I noticed that each time Beth got on the treadmill, she got up to speed really quickly. So she used the front of the treadmill, sort of held on and just pushed really quick, real quick turnover, just to get her legs going at the beginning. And that cadence she was able to then maintain throughout the run leg. Some of the other girls seemed a little bit more sluggish trying to get that belt moving, because you have got to manually move it. So that is that little bit harder to get up to speed. But Beth was just on top of it straight away.
Just having a little look there at Georgia Taylor-Brown, Lauren, she might have been a little bit disappointed today with her race.
Yeah, I think Georgia's really, really strong, and she's got a really, really good run leg, and she's strong on the bike and in the swim. I think that across the board she was fantastic in all three, but didn't just quite have it today.
And I think, Vicky, really just an incredible result. Also from Lucy Charles, we hadn't expected that one. But I'm going to head over to our winner, Beth Potter, of the women's race. It really was, for me, I had to say, and I apologised at the beginning of the race to Beth, because I said, I really didn't back you because I didn't think you'd have the swim. Beth, welcome to the show. Talk us through your race.
Yeah, I came here after a big block this winter and probably a lot last year as well, and just really nice to actually have a race and like something to work towards. So it's been really good. I've really enjoyed it, and I don't often get the chance to do relay formats.
We're just going to have a look now, Beth, at the highlights here of your stage win. Talk us through it. What's going on here?
So I felt like I was quite good in the transitions. I practiced a couple of times at training.
Beth, if you have a little look here, you might get a clearer picture here.
Yeah, so I've been working really hard this winter and last winter on my swim, so it's nice to see it come together a bit. And it was savage racing though; it was so hard.
but you made it look easy, Beth. When I came to interview at the end of the race, you were hardly breathing. Yeah,
I felt the one I found really tough was actually the second swim. I felt like I was hyperventilating. So I felt like I did recover quite quickly in between disciplines. So that's promising, because it's a really hard format, this.
And a little look here now as you make your way up to Lucy Charles.
Yeah.
You ran past her like she was standing still. She of course wasn't, but you were that much quicker, and it shows on the treadmill, the pace and cadence.
Yeah. I actually can't see that far, but I could see it close enough on the iPad, so that was good. So it's quite nice having someone to chase in front. I quite like doing my races that way, and I often find myself in that position that I'm chasing from behind. So.
Wow, absolutely brilliant. Who did you think was going to be your biggest threat here today?
To be honest, Sophie and Lucy. Yeah, Sophie's and Lucy, they're both unreal swimmers, so and both very strong on a bike. So I thought, I'm gonna, if I can stay anywhere close to them, I'll be doing well. So
Lovely to see you with your gold medal round your
neck,
Beth. An exceptional race. Well done.
Thanks very much. Thanks.
Right, Lauren, tell us about your triathlon. How did that go? It looked really tough. I would not want to be out there personally. It is so hot.
Yeah, I mean it was different to normal. Obviously, we normally do paratriathlon as a sprint distance anyway, and this was super sprint today. So, it was. That looks like a painful face. That does. That does
looks
not
like
look
someone who's working very, very hard.
I do not look happy there. And it was just the heat was. I guess this is what Tokyo is going to be like as well. So, it's good preparation and training. And I actually felt really good, and I'm used to the world of Zwift as well at the moment. I feel as though many people will be used to that world. It's been where we've been training in lockdown, and just on the run, I mean that face says everything. I've never used one of those treadmills, and Beth managed, we saw that high cadence gets there, but I didn't have that. So
let's just rewind a second. So you had never been on a curved treadmill until you came here today?
No, unfortunately I didn't have access to one, and I got on one yesterday for about 30 seconds, and I realised that this might not have been a good idea to have not got on one before. But it's just a really different experience. You control the pace yourself, so if you slow up, it goes slower. If you go faster, it goes faster. But I think there's definitely something to be said for having a high cadence and a short stride, so you get the belt going.
I found when I've got on one, I can't stop it, and it gets faster and faster, and I can't slow it down.
I wish that was the case for me.
So overall, what are your thoughts of the Arena Games? Pretty spectacular, wasn't it?
Oh no, it was fantastic, and obviously for paratriathlon to make a debut here and in such an amazing venue, I very much look forward to Rotterdam, and it would be fantastic, to see paratriathlon come back year and year again. It's great for us guys to get to do some racing against each other, and we didn't. Me and Claire raced each other today, and it'd be great to get some of the girls from around Europe as well. That would be awesome.
There is a bit of a rivalry going on between you and Claire, isn't it? It's a friendly rivalry.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely friendly one. I mean, me and Claire went to school together. We raced together as swimmers, and now we're doing triathlon together. It's actually quite a cute story, really. But it's great that I've got someone there to continue to push on the levels of paratriathlon. I think if it was, if Claire wasn't there, who would be there pushing me to be better, to push more watts? So I'm definitely looking forward to this year, and especially what Tokyo holds for us.
Graham, anything to add to what you saw in the the Paris race?
For me, the Paris race, it was I think it was a Dutch Yetse. He pushed 298 watts.
We're getting a lovely view just here of the athletes racing.
Sorry, he pushed 298 watts with his arms for 15 minutes.
It's impressive.
Which, I mean, I can't even do that with my legs for 5 minutes, so I don't know how he managed to do that.
I haven't taken a look at his biceps, but they've got to be pretty big, haven't they?
He's a muscular man, yes.
So, anything to add to that?
Other than the fact that I think everyone sort of came out here with no expectations, I think that, it was a pretty good reflection on everyone's training through winter, and I think that paratriathlon's going from strength to strength. So I think the next round, when everyone knows what they're doing, it'll be even faster and more intense racing.
And of course, you two have both had to stay very motivated because you've got a big race coming up later on in the year. Fingers crossed for Tokyo.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited.
I'm excited. I'm feeling more confident that it's going to happen and that we're all prepping for it. So, roll on Tokyo, I say.
It's been a bit of a long wait, hasn't it, Vicky?
It's been a bit longer than planned. An extra year is at times felt like a really long time, and there's been so much uncertainty in that year for everyone, no matter whether you're preparing for an Olympic Games or you're just trying to get your career on track or whatever it is. So, I think it'll be a real sort of a coming out party for the world, or that's my real hope for it back, when we get to July, August this year and on to September as well for the Paralympic Games. And I really hope that they are the spectacle that the world deserves and I think needs right now.
Talking of spectacle, the men's race. That was changing all the time, wasn't it? I mean, we had some great performances out there, great athletes. For me, a bit of a talking point was that the 21-year-old versus the 43-year-old. But I think that Tim Don had a bit of a tough day in the office, didn't he?
I think it was always going to be tough for Tim. I think Tim very much approached this event with the mentality of anything I do is going to be fun. I want to have a go. I'll throw myself into anything I get the opportunity to do. And, I was really pleased to see him get stuck in. It didn't sort of really matter the result today for Tim. And for a lot of us who are real triathlon fans, we just love to see Tim race. So having him out here was brilliant.
Lauren, what was your top moment in the men's racing?
Oh, I actually think I'm going to stay on Tim, actually, and I think it was his last bike leg. I think that he came through and I think he won that section. So I think he put out, pretty good watts to stay there, and I think he's got the experience, hasn't he? So
you can't take away, what must it be? Something like he started when he was 10, 33 years of experience.
That and just his story itself is inspirational, and I think for anybody that ever has a hard time, read Tim's story, it's phenomenal.
Just having a look now at Nishlag, he was, of course, the winner in Rotterdam, gave it everything. Martin Van Riel, lovely guy. He was utterly delighted. I don't think he expected the win. He didn't even know he was going to be here, did he? Because he crashed or fell over. He had some silly accident, as athletes do. It's always a silly accident, isn't it? And didn't think he was going to make it, but he did, and he won overall. So an exceptional race from the Dutch guy.
Yeah, Martin is someone who's been rising through the scene for a really long time. I think he was about 6th, I want to say, in Rio. I'm sorry if I've got that wrong, Martin. He's been coming through for a long time. He's had podiums in the World Series now as well. He has raced Super League before, but wasn't in Rotterdam last year, I don't believe. I think he rolled his ankle. I've seen something on Instagram, a cankle, as you like to call it, when you've rolled it and it goes really big and fat. But so I'm told it was more of a cosmetic injury than a real something that was inhibiting his training. He's been able to train through to get to this event in good shape. I put out a poll actually online earlier today, just kind of asking people who they thought was going to do well. Martin got a lot of votes, so maybe there are a lot of people out there who aren't too surprised to see him come through and win today.
Excellent stuff. Thanks, Vicky. Graham, back to you. What have you got for us on the men's race? Because there was a whole lot going on there, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as we said, the lead was changing all the way through. But one of the things that I thought was quite interesting is sort of stepping aside from the swim, bike, run element. Garmin were monitoring all the heart rates throughout the entire race. And particularly, we looked at the difference in the heart rate from the end of the Triathlon 2 to the beginning of Triathlon 3. So that recovery period in between, which is only 3 minutes, to try and see who was the most recovered. And Martin's heart rate went from 156 to 114. We actually had to double check with him that his heart does actually go that low in the middle of competition. But yeah, he was the most recovered going into that final event, and obviously pulled it out of the bag at the end. So,
what was the highest heart rate you saw?
I think we've got 183 from Justus Nishlag, but I'm getting this information delivered to me almost off screen at the moment. So it's you'll have to maybe come back and check later.
And how important is this information for the athletes in terms of their learning and arena games going forward?
I think, for this event, it's obviously so unusual compared to any normal triathlon. I think having a look at how you perform under these circumstances is really important. And so if you can, control your heart rate and control your emotions in between the transitions when you're trying to remember to, get your swim cap in the right place, get your bike pedals on, all that sort of stuff, and even remember what event is going on next. I think that sort of stuff is really important.
I think that's perhaps why Vasco didn't want to talk to me mid-stages, wasn't it? He suddenly changed his mind and went very, very
they
focused.
Need to stay focused, so yeah.
Let's have a talk about the wattage.
I'm afraid I have not got any wattage for you at the moment. I know Martin historically has always put out the highest watts, but we haven't managed to get the data out of it.
We are now just looking at the athletes on the curved treadmills. This is stage 2, Martin Van Riel, the overall winner there. What data have you got on that?
Well, Alex G had the fastest run time. He ran, I think it was around a 2:49 he ran this time. Which was a little bit slower than Javier ran in Rotterdam. So maybe, I don't know, Yi wants to have a word with him and a bit of beef going on later on. But we knew Alex was the fastest runner. It was a little bit, maybe he was struggling because he's one of the lighter athletes out there, and as we discussed, trying to get the treadmill going, get that high cadence and get that power in there, he might have struggled with that a little bit.
I think that's an interesting point. I think once Alex, and he would have trained on this, but it did seem that early on he had a few problems, and we discussed the fact that, what is he, about 57 kilos? He's an incredibly light athlete because he's not that short either. So that is going to impact, I guess, until you get the right footing.
Yeah, and as we said, learning how to race Super League is quite important. And this was his first Arena Games. I think some of the other athletes who've done this before might have a bit more of an idea of, what does it feel like when you're getting onto a curved treadmill? What do you need to do to get up to speed and to produce those kind of times? So, yeah.
Lovely stuff, thanks Graham. Adam Bowden, poor Adam Bowden, I love Adam Bowden, one of the most successful. He's had the most top 10s, apart from the Brownlee brothers, in Olympic distance racing. He's well in his late 30s now, very sad to see him go out. He picked up an injury diving into the pool.
Yeah, I saw him just pull up off the treadmill. I think it was on round 2. He just pulled up and I saw him pointing to his lower leg. So I don't know exactly what happened there. But yeah, there's definitely obviously a little injury that crept in. And that is really disappointing to see. And Adam was also one of our last minute substitutes. He came in for another athlete that couldn't make it in the end. And, I'd have loved to see him do well. He's an incredibly popular guy. Always, always everyone's friend is Adam. So no, we wish him well and hope he recovers soon.
And, a surprise winner in the women's and also a surprise winner in the men's. I think mainly, Martin, because we heard about your injury coming into this race. We didn't even know whether you were going to make it. I know how good you are. I followed you over the last few years, 6th in the Olympic Games in Rio. But this stuff is pretty new to you, isn't it? What's it like to be a winner here today?
Yeah, it's super special. Like you said, I was even a little bit uncertain 1 week ago if I could race. I got some worried messages from some of the Super League staff if I could compete. But yeah, I always
Were they desperately saying to you, we'll give you whatever you want to be here?
No. But they would like me to compete, obviously, because this is a big field and me as well. I wanted to be part of it, and I did everything this week to be able to stand on the line.
Talk us about your race and how it panned out. We can just see here some pictures here of the stages. Talk us through the race.
The first stage, it started very good for me because we had a little breakaway after the swim and the run, together with, I think, Johnny, Vasco Villace and Justus Nieschlag. And that was actually already an ideal situation for me because we could put Alex, a very strong contender, a little bit behind. And second stage, basically the same happened. Again, we caught a little break, and that was this time Vasco Villace that we put a little bit behind us. So every stage planned out very well for me. Every stage one opponent got eliminated. So
just seeing the athletes coming out of the water here. It looks quite high up. It's pretty tough getting out of there. It's not easy. No one's helping you out, are they?
No. I was hoping there was gonna be someone here, but then I realized that was COVID, so I just warmed my way up on the pontoon here. But it's super hard, especially when you've already done a couple of disciplines. I felt like a stranded whale. Huh?
Oh, you have a gold medal round your neck though.
Yes.
This is your final run here. We can see you giving your all. I love your top end. You know, you're at your max and you still find a little bit more. A phenomenal win, Martin. It must feel pretty good to you.
Yeah, I'm super happy. Yeah, like I'm super thankful that Super League could put these
Look at the
events
pain.
on. And,
I love it. I love it. You gave it absolutely anything. Johnny Brownlee too had a pretty good competition here. But Martin, you were the winner. Absolutely outstanding race. And it's not just about one stage or one individual discipline. It's about finishing on top with the most amount of points at the end of the race. And you did exactly that. Any questions, girls, for our winner here today?
How painful was it in the heat?
Very painful,
Very
but
painful.
I think it's perfect preparation for the Olympics. So that's how I was seeing it.
Positive mindset. We like that.
Positive.
Were you playing it tactically on that last leg, or did you know where you needed to finish to sort of win overall, or were you just go give everything and see what happens at the end?
I was trying to be a bit tactical, but that was actually maybe not so tactical because I thought I was up against Johnny mostly.
Yes, yes.
And all of a sudden I was standing in between two other guys here on the podium. So yeah, I almost miscalculated myself there, but I tried to be tactical, but maybe I shouldn't do that anymore.
You obviously knew more than me because I was struggling to work out the points as well and work out who was racing who. And I like you, I thought you were racing Johnny. So
Yeah.
to see you win, I wasn't sure how much you knew more than us.
No, not much more. During the race, there's not much thinking involved.
A massive achievement. Lovely gold medal. We cannot go without seeing your winning moment because it was quite spectacular. What a brilliant moment. Absolutely
Yeah.
lovely.
Super happy. Yeah?
Congratulations, Martin. Thank you so much for joining us. I imagine you need to refuel and perhaps have a little bit of a lie down now.
Yes. Thank you very much for having me on. Huh?
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Short shoot show. What a great show. What a great idea. I mean, it all comes around pretty quickly because this racing, one moment you think you've got hours to go and in a blink of an eye, it's all over.
Well, it felt like we just finished the women and I looked at the clock and realised the men were coming on and it was sort of all go, go, go. It's been a really sort of action-packed few hours with arriving here today to watch, and the para-tri was starting, and then, you know, we just didn't stop going all day, and it has been just so much action, so many top athletes racing, all going full gas, gun to tape. It's just been brilliant to watch.
What did you learn today, Lauren?
I learned that it is exceptionally hot in a swimming pool to do the race, but actually, as you know, as we've said all along, is that is what the conditions are going to be like in Tokyo. So I guess can we have some more arena games, please? Because we need some extra preparation.
Well, it's good you mention more arena games because, of course, we do have another arena games event coming up 3 weeks' time in Rotterdam. Vicky, what are we going to expect there?
More of the same, please. I mean, I don't think we can have an arena games without expecting some fireworks. There'll probably be at least one surprise package, because that seems to happen every time we go to an arena games. Someone crops up on that podium, whether it's a surprise winner or just a podium athlete. I think we're going to see any athletes who raced here and then are going to Rotterdam, they'll be better prepared just for racing here. It's the first race many people have done in a long, long time. But on top of that, just the experience, really, of having done an arena games, experience the heat, as Lauren has mentioned, you know, trying to just put it together for 3 stages in a row. So, yeah, I think we're going to see some more fast and furious racing.
Let's get a little taste of what's to come in 3 weeks' time. What you can feel is the real nerves and tension. An amazing lineup.
There is nowhere to hide. The transitions are everything. This is moving between real and virtual racing. Here is the sprint from the end. And she crosses the line with everything.
A last thought, Vicky, on the arena games here in the Aquatic Centre.
I just think we've had such a drought of big events over the last year or so, and we really, really thrive on big events like this, and being able to put something on as successfully as we have here. Yeah, I think it just shows what can be done, even in a COVID era. You know, congratulations to everyone at Super League who's put on this event, and let's keep throwing out more events.
And Lauren, to have brought the para-triathletes here today, I mean, they deserve to be here. But what a great event.
Yeah, definitely. And I think I speak on behalf of everyone in the world of para-triathlon that we're so grateful to be here and have the opportunity to race. And Arena League has always been something that, I followed online and thought that would be really fun to do. So the fact that we got here today, and it's a stepping stone for the future and hopefully more racing for para-triathlon at the Super League.
Do you have a message for your fans, Lauren? Because it will be no surprise to any of us here that you have had a lot of wonderful messages from your fans out there. So
Definitely. I think for everyone that's watched and supported today and encouraged, it's hard to get back racing when, you've had a bit of an iffy winter. I think everybody's had that. So for everyone that's supported, I'd just like to say thank you, and that there is more to come, and that we will all try the hardest. And I definitely will be getting stuck into training now. Potentially a little bit more running training after that race. But yeah, thank you very much.
Plenty of time. Thank you so much for joining me, Vicky Holland and Lauren Steadman. Thank you very much. Well, we've had all sorts of things going on behind the scenes. We have had competitions, an Instagram competition to predict the results today, and we have a winner. It is Pedro Pally from Madrid, and he has won £1,000, no less, of Ice Bind recovery kit. So well done, Pedro Pally from Madrid. Thank you so much for watching the Short Chute Show. That's quite difficult to say. The Short Chute Show. It has been absolutely brilliant. We've enjoyed everything. We will be back in 3 weeks' time in Rotterdam. Thank you very much for joining us, and make sure you tune in 3 weeks' time.